Kurt Warner had an interesting thing to say on one of his regular segments called Warner's Corner, where he talks QBs, essentially. Some people are saying it was a creationist rant.
I
disagree, but some people are. So
you disagree that it was a creationist rant?
I do not believe it was a rant of any kind
at
all.
But it was. They're not. I mean, some people say. There's some people saying it. He's a creationist.
That's
fine.
He
doesn't believe in science.
Right. But I don't think that he was ranting. It was an intro. He was trying to have a creative intro into his theory of evolution of the quarterback. But let's hear it.
All right, let's hear it. Here's Kurt Warner.
Okay.
A quarterback thriving in the Todd Haley system. This appears to be perfect fodder for Warner's Corner. Kurt, take it away.
Thanks, Rich. It has been fun to watch him this year. And as you might expect, I'm not fully buying the evolutionary theory where one species transforms into another. But if we're talking about the idea that every species has the ability to adapt over time, well, then I'm all in. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen this happen in a group that I've been studying for years, NFL quarterbacks.
Okay. So what he's saying is, you know that I'm a Christian and I have hardcore Christian beliefs because everybody in the world, in the football world, probably knows that about Kurt Warner, right? So he's just saying, as you might expect, I don't believe that one species can transform into another, but I do believe that quarterbacks can evolve. Right. So I wouldn't consider that not even 5 seconds of verbiage.
Let's not conflate creationist and Christian, first of all. I think there's plenty of Christians who believe in evolution.
This is true, and I apologize, but I guess what his core beliefs, right?
His core beliefs are insane, but they're insane and they're crazy. There's no theory of evolution. We call it. It's like saying, about the theory of gravity. As people know, I'm not a full believer that if you jump off a building, you'll fall to the ground. There's a lot of different evidence there that you might levitate, right? There's none. Zero.
Okay.
None.
So
it's fine. You're right. It wasn't a rant. He did not take the NFL Network and attempt to change people's minds. We'll give him that. He didn't. But that said, it is nuts. And when you say that publicly, when you say something insane publicly, you are going to get a reaction from sane people.
But I would imagine that Kurt Warner has said other things that you might think are insane.
It's not that I think they're insane, Heather. They're wrong. They're not insane because they are in the sense that
sure, but there's a lot of people that are going to disagree with you.
But you can't disagree with evolution. You can't do it. It's like disagreeing with gravity.
But a lot of people are going to, is all I'm saying.
Okay, they're wrong, and we get to say they're wrong.
Well, I think just to simplify the whole thing, it's like they answer two different questions, right? The question about God and how, is a why question.
Yes.
Why are we here? Why did evolution happen? Why was there, if there's a Big Bang, if that happens to be true, why did that happen?
Did God set evolution
in movement? Did God create the Big Bang? That's a valid question, and I don't know the answer to it, okay? The other is how. How did we get here? And that's a scientific question, right?
That we've answered.
And that we're sort of answering, and that evolution is by far the most plausible with tons of evidence to back it up, right? So it's kind of like the why and the how are two totally different questions, and there really isn't even a serious attempt to answer the how question by religion. It's not a serious attempt. It doesn't take into account evidence. No. It's just it's a myth. It's a mythological explanation, which is not a literal one.
Right.
So it's just a confusion of categories, really, is what it is, and that's it.
And I think that's right. Chris has said it very well. And I think what he does is massively undermine Christianity when he does that. No one questions that he gets to be devout and reading the Bible and believe what he chooses to. There's no question that he gets to do that. He's going to get criticized fairly when he goes on television and says,
and he did.
And here's some of the tweets.
We have some tweets, yeah.
Now, look, Scott Laxton says, dude, so dumb, just shut up, Kurt, you don't know anything about evolution. I would not have gone that route if I were going to tweet at him. And he says, come on, really, Warner says. Plus, I said I'm not buying it. Still waiting to see a monkey become human in my lifetime. Well, they're out of Chris's point. This is a guy who is just seeing evidence and completely ignoring it and then massively distorting it to fit his mythological argument.
Right. Well, that's also like a straw man. Nobody said monkeys evolve in one lifetime.
Nobody said
it's a millions of years thing. But I think it's a little harsh on Warner. Look, it's a free country. He can believe what he wants. He can say what he wants. It can be totally without basis in terms of the how. The how answer is not sufficiently. He hasn't really thought through the how. He just believes what he believes, and he's entitled to that. And he said on a football show, And I mean, I don't know.
Does it offend you? Does that 3 seconds offend you?
It doesn't bug me.
It
It doesn't bug me. I mean, I just think like, okay, you're making a category error, and whether or not this does exist and there is a God and whatever belief for the why, which is a valid question. I just think let's not conflate these two questions.
Yeah, I actually agree with Chris.
Yeah.
I wouldn't discipline him. I wouldn't even really talk to him about it, right?
Yeah.
I'd just be like, ugh,
Yeah.
idiot, right?
Yeah.
Now, that said, he is on, to me, the wrong side of almost every public policy issue, and he has put his name and credibility on the line for politics. And the result is that many poor women in Missouri, in part because of Kurt Warner, will find it difficult to get an abortion and get the necessary women's health care that they need. He's made a mistake. He's made this country a little bit worse.
In what specific way? What specific thing?
He took ads out. He took out significant anti-choice ads supporting anti-choice legislation. Yeah,
I didn't know
he's wrong. He's wrong, and it hurts people. There's a tangible effect on that his celebrity has hurt people. He thinks he's helping people. And to be honest, if we get just briefly, and this is not the forum to discuss it, you get into abortion. I understand that. If you think it's murder, you should speak up. I got that. But that said, there are tangible effects that has on real people, and I regret that, and I regret that he's made that decision. I wouldn't get on him for this, but he's got to take the response. And then when his tweets, one more tweet let's put up there from Michael, evolution is real, read a book other than your Bible, you jackass. Again, that is not the right tweet to send, Mike Masters. And then Kurt, I like that he does respond. It's so Kurt Warner, because he's such a nice guy. Right. He responds so affably to these people, Really? What evidence do you see today of one species becoming another? Again, to Chris's point again, it's like, today? I don't know that there was any evidence today that one species became another.
That's not the theory. That's not the theory you're taking
That's not what the evolution science is.
All right. Well, what do you think about Kurt Warner's I'm not calling it a rant, but what he said? Was it appropriate? Was it strategically sound? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.